What's up, guys? We'll be live on Twitch grinding out some Warzone games tonight, but this time with drops enabled, as Call of Duty has just released their newest Season 4 drops, including the Sensory Overload Spray, the Love the Bomb emblem, and the one I'm sure you'll all want, the Bloodstream Growl 556 variant. Exclusive loot that you can only get from watching Twitch streamers, so if you want to grab these, we'll be live on Twitch tonight, and I'd love to chat with y'all, so links in the description below if you're interested, but anyways, let's get back to the regular scheduled content. The Red Door, Project Zeus, Call of Duty 2020. The breadcrumbs been dropping for a long while now, but they only just keep coming. While we don't have any official statement on what's coming in 2020 just yet, we keep seeing these things progress, and while the curtain may be coming up soon, the anticipation and the seeming treasure hunt continues. The Red Door has popped up again within the last 24 to 48 hours, in which it's made another interesting development in the case of COD 2020. So today, I want to take some time with you and discuss what this may mean, perhaps give you some clarity on some rumors or ideas as to what we could be seeing going along with it. But as we go through the video, let me know your thoughts down below. When do you think we'll see a COD 2020 reveal? And as well, if you are new to the channel, do be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare, Warzone, and COD 2020 on a daily basis. But anyways, let's begin. Let's recap a bit here because we've talked about the Red Door briefly, but it may not be all clear to you if you maybe just say perhaps overheard it, you haven't paid too much close attention to it, whatever the case may be. We first learned about the Red Door over a month ago at this point in early June. According to the PlayStation databasing website, the Red Door was a game hidden in the depths of the database for no one to really see, and if you did see it, you did somehow come across it, it was disguised as a game entirely different than that of what you may consider it to be. But upon examining the information given the data packaging, it actually turned out to be an Activision project and one that was labeled as COD 2020 Int Alpha 1, otherwise Call of Duty 2020 Internal Alpha 1. The game had multiple updates indicated by the Delta patch, indicating a fourth update to that point, and was a total of 71.4 gigabytes. All of that seemed to check out given how developers had shifted from office life to work from home life, so in order for any progress to be made on the project, they'd need a build of the game to work on with their own consoles, their own tools, and the comfort of their own home. Now, since then, this has actually been removed from the official PlayStation 4 database in which it was first found, presumably to stop pesky interested parties like us from finding out more information than we should know. But the info didn't stop there. We also did see that some parties were able to dig a little bit further and extract the files from the PS4 version of the game and the build there for the internal alpha, to which at the time, it was the first time that we saw the official namesake of Call of Duty Black Ops, which again, at that time was kind of a bombshell because up until that point, we'd been kind of under the assumption that due to other leaks and other insider information, that it'd be called Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. A little bit more of a mouthful and tongue twister there, but it also proved to be, at anything, our first real look at any potential real branding in an official capacity if that turns out to be everything we think it is. Because like we mentioned, then and still now, we have absolutely no information whatsoever from Activision on the next game other than, well, it's coming. But that was then. What about now? Well, in an interesting turn of events, or I guess something that creeped up that we didn't quite expect, in the last day we actually saw the Red Door pop up once again in the mainstream of Call of Duty news, but this time on the Xbox side of things. Earlier this week, it was first seen on the Xbox store as, again, perhaps the same exact scenario as the PlayStation 4 databasing listing, as a hidden away game that was listed and used for the work for home development, but also deterring anyone that wasn't supposed to know about it. Labeled with the description of, "There is more than one truth. If you go looking for answers, be ready to question everything and accept that nothing will ever be the same. The Red Door awaits. Do you dare step through it?" Now, this is significant because it's now made the jump across platforms. This time at a sizing of 81 gigabytes, it seems like the build has progressed a little bit. Even though sizing on given platforms does vary a little bit, it's a decent enough increase that it seems like there was more so stuff added to this. But what's the interesting curveball about this part of the story is that on the Xbox side, similar to the PlayStation 4 users, some have actually been able to jump into the game, downloading it and getting to the main menu of it, if you will, without any verification. But once they try and progress past that, that's when they get the boot saying, "Hey, do you own this? If not, then you can't really go further." But while images and forced locks are the same as PS4, it seems like the code name has actually changed, that it's now Black Ops CIA, indicating one of two different things. Maybe one, it's not necessarily a direct reboot, where we have now Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Maybe this isn't Call of Duty Black Ops 2020, like how it was previously theorized to be Black Ops Cold War. Maybe it's Black Ops CIA at this point. Or number two, CIA stands for something different than Central Intelligence Agency, to which both Mason and Woods were working with in the original storyline. maybe CIA stands for Closed Internal Alpha. But for many, that may seem odd to see the name change multiple times in a short window, but it's actually still plausible that it could be the case, where the name could be in progress and not necessarily just set in stone yet, as crazy as that sounds. But now here's where we get to the discussion of things. What does this mean for us, the players? How does this affect the developmental timetable of the entire project? How does this affect the release of the next project? Simply put, it really doesn't. Right now, it may be strange to see that we're still seeing things in the code names of internal alphas, but given the sizing of each application and their respective platforms, I don't know that I necessarily see this as still as an alpha despite the name suggesting it, or at least the alpha that we necessarily think of. If I may offer up some potential clarity, the initial name of the data package was COD 2020 int alpha, but as we mentioned, that first finding of that was in early June. It was updated a minimum of 4 times, meaning that it's likely progressed from the basic building blocks that it was whenever it was first sent out, and also still to where we are now. So it's not necessarily where I'm thinking of it as the alpha stage, the developmental equivalent of where textures are missing and its bare minimum poly counts. That to me is, I think, the bit of an exaggerated association with the term of alpha, from at least my communication and understanding from those who work on the games in the last few years. For perspective, back in May of last year, myself, other YouTubers, and press and media outlets went to Infinity Ward Studio in Los Angeles to listen to their briefing and then talking about Modern Warfare a couple of days before it was actually officially revealed. And also, while we couldn't say it at the time, we actually did get to play a little bit of the game at that point. From my memory, we ended up playing Azure Cave both day and night, showing off the NVG and realism modes, Grasna Raid, which was showing off their first introduction of 10v10, and then King 2v2 Gunfight, and I think possibly Pine 2v2. The last one I can't remember if we played Pine or from thinking about the MP reveal event, but I distinctly remember each and every single one of those levels, and I can confidently say that minus the things like the minimap and other smaller elements, things that were communicated to the developers from either people at that initial event, all the way up through the beta and all things that go along with that, the alpha from 2v2, the communication from that, the feedback there, the beta from the community, and all things considered, everything was almost exactly the same. So the game was in a quite playable state, and I did say it at the time that it felt like this was the furthest along I'd ever played a Call of Duty early, and truth be told, looking back at that, being that it plays so similarly, I think that still kind of stood up. And the big part is that that was an alpha. It wasn't a behind schedule mess that you'd normally consider the term for alpha, so even if it is the alpha of Red Door and COD 2020, I don't think it's as bad a sign as many people may initially jump to. I think I'm more so taking it also at just the face value that being that it's worked on other consoles now, we're seeing a lot more development towards that end, and thus maybe even getting closer to what may be a final build of the game. While we don't have anything just yet that again says it will be Call of Duty Black Ops, we're getting to that timetable in development where it's basically a full game. It's something that we can have presented and at the very least maybe even pushed into a beta. And that actually brings up the question of a public beta that I've been kind of pondering myself, is that will we see something of a playable demo, a beta of any kind, whether that be something for campaign? That was rumored quite some time ago that we'd get a campaign demo for 2020, but given that all things are shifted back once again, if we do still have an October or November release date, that's not a lot of time to put all those things in there. And so therefore we may not even just see it at that point. But circling back, is it a good or a bad thing that we're seeing this now? Truth be told, I think it's just kind of there. I don't think we can tell if it's good or bad. I certainly don't want to write it off just yet because we haven't seen anything, not in any official capacity, no screenshots, no gameplay, no trailer, no name even. So for the time being, I'm just let this one play out, but wanted to keep you guys in the loop here with this. Again, in relation to when we may see any official information, I still think that from what we've seen in the game files, I'm going to stick to the initial thoughts here that we'll see something revealing Call of Duty 2020 within Season 5, or whether that be a launch event within Warzone. I, truth be told, really think they're going to be using Warzone as that springboard for 2020 because so much has been invested into it. So much has been put into the game mode, into making sure that it stays active and is the longevity portion of Call of Duty across many titles. So in that regard and what we've seen in the game files, I still think we have a reveal somewhat on the very near horizon, but still a couple of weeks out here with that, given that we'll see Season 5 launching in just a little bit of time. But that is where we're at. Just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about this. Round into the weekend with a little bit more current event stuff. I think this weekend what we have on deck is some more retrospective stuff or some stuff that's kind of just expose style, not necessarily news and information. So we'll be having some fun with new content here, but wanted to let you guys know this while we had the opportunity. But that said, that's where we're going to wrap it up. I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of this here? Are you looking forward to COD 2020 again? When do you think that reveal will be? Do you take anything out of this Red Door reintroduction here in the mainstream? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare, updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. We get you covered here on the channel. So if any of that interests you, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Probably live on both those. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.